Hello, sports fans. We are ready for the divisional round of the playoffs in the league where they play for pay. And let's get right to it. We got 4 big games to get to. Want to get to the college football as well. Let's start in New England with the New England Patriots minus 13 against the Tennessee Titans. First of all, I'm not going to get into this Brady, Kraft, Belichick thing. Brady's not going anywhere. Belichick's not going to the Giants. Kraft is not letting him go. I mean, I know Brady and Garofalo, there was probably some tension there. You know how quarterbacks are at the backup. Look at Favre and Rodgers. But when it comes to playing football and getting the job done, I am sure New England will be there. As far as Tennessee, let's start giving them some credit. What a great job by the Tennessee Titans. They're down 21-3 on the road, and they come storming back to beat the Chiefs 22-21. The game totally flipped when it was 21-3. Titans have a 3rd and 8. Mariota throws the ball, deflected by Revis into Mariota's hands. Mariota dances into the end zone, makes it 21-10. It was all Titans after that. Henry just mashed that Kansas City defense so many times it looked like he was going to be stopped in the backfield, and he ended up running down the field. Tennessee scored on basically every possession in the second half. They even run out the clock at the end. Kansas City had no answers on defense, couldn't get anything done on offense. That was a great job by the Tennessee Titans. They said the Tennessee coach was on the hot seat if he didn't win. Give me a break. He made the playoffs, a nice step up. Why was he on the hot seat? Great job by the Titans. Let me get to Kansas City real quick. Embarrassing performance by the Kansas City Chiefs. They lose again at home in the playoffs. Embarrassing. 21-3, and you can't hold the lead. You score no points in the second half. You let Tennessee stuff the ball down your face, just like Pittsburgh did last year, and I don't want to hear that the tight end was out. Find a way to get it done. Don't drop a pass. Don't take a holding penalty when you're close to field goal range. How about making a field goal after Tennessee fumbled a punt? How about making a stop on defense instead of letting Tennessee run over you the whole second half? Kansas City, I'll tell you, the fans are great. It's a great home field, but in the playoffs, it's become the, oh no, here we go again stadium. You could see it coming. Once Mariota ran it in with that deflected pass, you could hear it. I mean, the whole air came out of the building. The Chiefs fans were like, oh no, here we go again. And sure enough, there they went again, right out in the playoffs. They became the first team since like the Lions 70 years ago to blow this kind of lead at home. Andy Reid, embarrassing. Chiefs, embarrassing. Alex Smith, embarrassing. That defense, embarrassing. They were run over again at home. Couldn't make one stop. Embarrassing. And I don't want to hear about the officials. I'm sick of every team that loses in any sport. The first thing that comes up is, it was the officials. Dodgers lost the World Series. Umpires. The Kings and the Ducks. The NHL, bad officiating. College basketball, bad officiating. Nuggets, Clippers in the NBA, bad officiating. Everything is about the officiating when you lose the game. Find a way to get it done. I know the officiating wasn't great. Chiefs had a 21-3 lead at home. Find a way to get it done and stop crying about the officials. That was an embarrassing performance by the Chiefs. Again, shows some guts, Kansas City. And I don't want to take anything away from Tennessee because they did a great job. That was a spectacular come-from-behind win. As far as this game, listen, I can't take Tennessee here. I know the line is high at 13. I'll move the line down to 7. I got to think New England off a bye is going to get it done. Tennessee had a very good year. They made the playoffs. They won a nice road game, a nice comeback. The season's going to end here. If they fall behind 14-0 or 21-3 in New England, they're not coming back. And that's nothing against Tennessee. They've done a good job this year. New England is just better than Tennessee right now. They got Brady. They got the home field. They got the bye. I cannot see Tennessee winning this game. No, the spread's high. I'll move it down to 7. I'll take New England. That's pick number 1. Pick number 2. Very interesting game here with the Atlanta Falcons on -3 at Philadelphia. Remember, Philadelphia, top seed in the NFC, but they lose Wentz. Foles played well against the Rams. Then he played terrible against the Raiders. Then the Eagles rested everyone against the Cowboys. Then they had a week off. A lot of questions with that Eagle offense. Falcons, they looked really good last week. They just smacked around the Rams in Los Angeles. Freeman and Coleman were awesome, running over Ram defenders. Freeman for 5, Coleman for 8, Freeman for 6, Coleman for 7, controlling the game, controlling the clock, breaking tackles. The running game for Atlanta was awesome. Then you get Ryan, a little play action to Jones, a little play action to Sanu. Then the Atlanta defense was awesome. They were shutting down that screen game for the Rams. The Falcons were flying all over the field with all that team speed. The Falcons looked like a team that was ready for the playoffs. Remember, they played Carolina last week, needed to win that game. So the Falcons were in playoff mode. The Rams, after bombing Seattle a few weeks ago, then going into Tennessee and winning, they rested everyone the last week of the season. And it looked like a hangover because the Rams looked flat as a pancake. They looked like they were lying on the beach all week. They had no life on offense. Number 1 offense in the league, 13 points at home. The special teams, which was great for the Rams all year, was atrocious in this game. Fumbling balls, bumbling, stumbling, awful special teams. And the defense was pushed around all game. And I don't want to hear about the field. I know they said they replaced the field and everyone was slipping. Atlanta found a way to get it done, so I don't want to hear about the field. So this was a really tremendous job by the Atlanta Falcons. Rams had a nice year. Had a nice step up. They have a bright future. They're going to move into a new stadium in a few years. They had no home field advantage this year, though. 4-5 at home. No home field advantage in that Coliseum. But don't worry, LA. You don't have to worry about the Rams anymore. You can go back to talking about Lamar and Lonzo Ball and how the Lakers are 3 stars away from being a contender. So go back to talking about your Lakers. Don't have to worry about the Rams anymore. As far as the Falcons, they have that look. Like the team, one of those teams like Green Bay, the Giants, and the Steelers that were a wild card, had all the games on the road but made it to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. The Falcons have that look. So they're a very dangerous team right now. You're looking for a performance like that from the Falcons all year. They were very inconsistent this year. They look really good in this game. It's a very strange game as far as how to pick it because the Falcons are a 3-point favorite on the road. Here's how I'm going to play it. I'm going to take the Eagles +9 in a teaser. I get the home field. I get the 9. I think the game will be close. Listen, if you like the Falcons straight up to win, couldn't argue with you. There's a lot of questions with Philadelphia. But every time I took a good team at home in a teaser, getting those kind of points, I won this year. Every single time. That's how I'm going to play the game. Eagles +9. I think the game's close. It could go either way. Should be colder weather. I will take Eagles +9, though. I think it's a close game either way. That's how I play that game. That's pick number 2. Pick number 3, let's go to Steel City in Pittsburgh, where the Pittsburgh Steelers are -7 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville won an absolutely ugly game last week against Buffalo, 10-3. It was an ugly game. I mean, the offenses could get nothing done. Bortles couldn't throw the ball from here to there. It was very windy out. Bortles did do some nice things running the ball. Jacksonville, the defense is great. They found a way to get it done. What was Buffalo doing in the second quarter of this game? 0-0. Buffalo has a first down at the Jacksonville 1 after Jacksonville just took a penalty. First down, you got McCoy in the backfield. I didn't think McCoy was going to play. He played and played well. Why not give McCoy the ball there? Instead, they throw the ball on first down. Offensive pass interference. Pushes them back. Buffalo has to settle for a field goal. They never get into the end zone the rest of the game. What is Buffalo doing with that play calling? That could have changed the whole complexion of the game if Buffalo scores a touchdown there. They don't get in. Jacksonville defense gets it done. Jacksonville wins an ugly game, 10-3. Now remember, Pittsburgh-Jacksonville, they played early in the year. Jacksonville beat Pittsburgh 30-9. The Steelers were up 9-7 in the third quarter. Then Roethlisberger threw 5 interceptions. 2 were run back. On back-to-back possessions, Jacksonville ran the ball back, and the Jacksonville defense dominated the game. Shazier out for Pittsburgh. They do get Brown back. By the way, why did the Steelers let Harrison go? I would have kept him, and then he goes to New England. I don't like that move by the Steelers at all. As far as this game burned me early in the year. I think the Steelers were 8.5-point favorite against Jacksonville. I took Pittsburgh in a teaser. I lost. Haven't learned my lesson. I'm going back on Pittsburgh. Jacksonville's offense looked so bad last week, and Bortles looked so bad throwing the ball. I cannot trust them on the road to beat a good Pittsburgh team again. I know the defense can get things done. I know they give Jacksonville a chance every time. They're capable of winning the game on their own. But the Jacksonville offense was so bad last week, and Bortles was so bad, I cannot trust him in this spot. I'm going to go back on Pittsburgh. Haven't learned my lesson. I'm going to say Pittsburgh finds a way to get it done at home. Pittsburgh -1 and a teaser is my pick here. If Jacksonville gets it done again in Pittsburgh, I will give them all sorts of credit and certainly tip my hat to them. But I like Pittsburgh in a teaser. That's pick number 3. And pick number 4, let's go to Minnesota, one of the most underrated sports cities in the United States, Minnesota. They have great fans up there. The Minnesota Vikings, a -4 against the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans hung on to beat Carolina, had a big lead in this game, almost let it slip away. Questionable play calling by Peyton at the end of this game gave Carolina a chance to win, but New Orleans found a way to escape. New Orleans gets the job done. Minnesota, of course, had a fabulous year. 2 seed coming off a bye. Remember the Super Bowl in Minnesota this year. Minnesota defense is awesome. They did a great job of overcoming all those injuries to their quarterbacks and the running back. Minnesota had a spectacular year, a surprising year. Most of the people I talk to are taking the Saints +10 in a teaser here. Listen, I can't argue with that. I personally, I'm going to take Minnesota in a money line. I think Minnesota's defense at home is going to get it done. I think they're going to rattle Breeze. I think they're going to force some turnovers. New Orleans Saints defense is improved, but it's not great. You saw that Carolina moved the ball on them last week. I think Minnesota will get enough points. I think the defense will harass Breeze. I think they'll cause some turnovers. Minnesota defense is the best defense in the NFC. I think Minnesota's defense carries the day here. The Dome should be cooking in Minnesota. Should be a wild crowd there. I think Minnesota gets it done. I think Minnesota in the money line. Should be some very interesting games this week. A lot of storylines this week. Jacksonville, can they do it again in Pittsburgh? Can Foles get it done for Philadelphia? What's the story with Tennessee? Are they a team of destiny now? What's New England with all this friction now with the front office? Minnesota, is that defense going to dominate all the way through the playoffs? You know, a lot of storylines here in the NFL. Should be some good matchups, but that's the way I see it. Last week, I ended up going 4-2. I started off very slow last week. Saturday, I have Kansas City in the under in the teaser, I lose. Then I have the Rams in the over in the teaser, I lose. So I'm 0-2 right off the bat on Saturday. Sunday, I needed to make up for it, and I did. I took Jacksonville in the money line, won. Took Jacksonville in the under, I won. Took the Saints in the over, I won. And then I took the Saints and Jacksonville and won. So I went 4-2. Thank goodness for Jacksonville. They saved me last week. If Jacksonville would have lost, I would have had a disastrous week. As it is, I went 4-2. I did recover. I also took Georgia in a teaser last night and the under, so I won that as well. So technically, I was 5-2 over the weekend. Speaking of Georgia, Alabama, how about the game last night? Alabama wins in overtime, 26-23, in an absolutely awesome game. Georgia has the big lead early, doing whatever they want on both sides of the ball. Alabama can't get anything done with Hurts as quarterback. Alabama at the half changes quarterbacks. They go to the freshman, this Tua T as I call him. What a tremendous job by him. He was rated so high out of high school. He looks like an awesome prospect. You wonder why he wasn't the starter from the beginning. He rallies the team back. He's breaking tackles, setting up, the first touchdown. Then in overtime, first of all, at the end of regulation, remember, Alabama comes storming back in this game. Then they have a field goal to win it. They missed a short field goal. Georgia's got all the momentum. Georgia kicks a field goal in overtime. Then Alabama takes a sack, and you're thinking Georgia's going to pull this game out. But then Alabama, to a T, hits Smith down the sidelines, and Alabama wins an unbelievable national championship game as Nick Saban wins his 6th national championship, ties Bear Bryant. And Alabama did so many things wrong in this first half. So undisciplined, taking penalties, guys taking swings at Georgia players. They were so undisciplined, Alabama. They looked terrible in the first half. But give Saban credit going to a freshman quarterback in that spot and the freshman quarterback responding in that way. That was an awesome job by the freshman quarterback, and give Saban a lot of credit for making that move. This was a heartbreaking loss for the Georgia Bulldogs, who had a commanding lead in this game. But the future is bright for Georgia. They have the #1 recruiting class. They're on the SEC East side of things. That's the weaker side. The future is bright for the Georgia Bulldogs with that new great coaching staff that they have. Future is bright for Georgia, but this was a bitter pill to swallow. Georgia had not won a national championship since Herschel Walker. They felt like they had this game right there, and they let it slip away. Bitter pill for Georgia, but a great job by Alabama. Give Saban credit for going to Tua T, the freshman quarterback, in that spot. A lot of coaches would not have done that, and Tua T responding in a big way, and he looks like a big-time prospect at quarterback. They said he was one of the highest-rated prospects ever at the quarterback position coming out of high school. He looks like a real player. Alabama give him all sorts of credit, and they find a way to get it done. Nick Saban wins another national championship. What's that, 5 in 9 years? They're like the Patriots of college football. Unbelievable job by Alabama. And again, I know there was some questionable calls. I don't want to hear about the officiating. Find a way to get it done, Georgia. You had a commanding lead. Find a way to get it done. All right, there you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. You have your picks for this week. I will be back with you guys next week. Again, my voice is still going. Still under the weather, by the way. Hopefully, I'll be feeling better. We've had such bad cold weather here. It's flu season, so everyone's getting sick. Hope I feel better next week. I'll talk to you guys next Tuesday as we'll touch on the championship games. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. Talk to you guys next week. Take care.